Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Scholarship Celebration. My name is Ekaterina Lynch. I am a fourth-year Bruin studying opera and English literature. I am honored to be your MC for today's event. Before we officially begin, I'd like to take a moment to highlight a few special student contributions that have helped set the tone for today's gathering. The music you heard during the reception included recordings from UCLA's student-run string ensemble, Con Brio String Orchestra, which I conduct. And at each of your, thank you. They're sounding great. And at each of your seats, you'll find a card featuring a watercolor painting of a Westwood scene created by fellow UCLA scholarship recipient Grace Chen. These artistic touches reflect the heart and spirit of our campus community. We're thrilled to share them with you today. Grace, can you please stand? Awesome. So beautiful. Thank you, Grace. Looking around this room, I see a group of individuals, each with a story uniquely their own. While our experiences may differ, we also share many commonalities. One of the most powerful is that we each have a dream for ourselves, our family, and our society. Dreams connect us. They are the common thread between students striving for better futures, donors who champion potential, and staff who nurture success every step of the way. At UCLA, scholarships and student support programs do more than alleviate financial stress or societal challenges. They build a community of hope, support, opportunity, where every dream has the chance to thrive. Thank you to all of you for being a part of this special community. Like many in this room today, I can personally speak to the transformative power of scholarships and student support here at UCLA. My hometown, Guerneville, California, has a population of 4,500, and it's a rural community where musical opportunity is limited. I knew that if I wanted to follow my dreams of becoming an opera singer, I would need to do so elsewhere. UCLA offered the perfect environment to pursue my passion for music and provided the support I need to thrive. At UCLA, I've pursued my dreams, becoming the best version of myself through all of these experiences, coming to Los Angeles and working with the phenomenal artists of the UCLA faculty. This made my dreams suddenly possible and a career in the arts attainable. None of this would have been possible without the support I received. Today, we recognize the profound generosity of donors, the dedication of UCLA staff and leadership, and the achievements of my fellow scholars. More importantly, we will celebrate all that we have accomplished together. I look forward to sharing more of my story with you later. Now, I would like to welcome to the stage Gary Clark, who is the Associate Vice Chancellor of Enrollment Management and oversees UCLA's pipeline programs like Early Academic Outreach Program and Strategic Partnerships, Community Engagement, as well as Admissions and Financial Aid and Scholarships. Please join me in welcoming Associate Vice Chancellor Clark. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Wow, it's an electric crowd. Thank you. Good to be with you all. Thank you, Ekaterina, for the introduction. Again, Gary Clark, Associate Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management. I've been at UCLA now for a little over 12 years. For 10 of those years, I was the Director of Undergraduate Admission before stepping into this role a couple of years ago. But I will tell you, this is an event that I look forward to every year. The opportunity to meet with these incredible students and meet with you all as donors who have helped to support these scholarships and create a lot of these opportunities is something that's really, really exciting for me on an annual basis. And certainly hearing Ekaterina kind of introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her story is inspiring. I think she certainly embodies what it means to be a Bruin. Her resilience, determination, and optimism are common threads that run through UCLA student stories. The students in this room, and the ones you will hear from on stage today, are nothing short of inspiring, and I think we all can use a little inspiration right now. We are honored to call them Bruins. Being here at the #1 public university, in case you hadn't heard, These students are already known for their academic excellence, for their intellect, and for their desire to solve our society's biggest issues. We were just talking about some of those at the table that I was sitting at. But what also makes them inspiring is that they represent the vast diversity of life and lived experiences in all of them. Bruins always keep their dreams in sight and take advantage of every opportunity along the way to bring them closer to their goals, no matter the challenges that they face. And while the future can seem uncertain, especially with some of the challenges that we face today, UCLA students truly are the future and a future in which we all can believe. The students in this room will go out and do remarkable things. I think we all have great confidence that that will happen. They are our future leaders, artists, change makers, and innovators. And you all, as donors, play a huge role in that, and we are incredibly appreciative of the support that you provide. With 1/3 of UCLA undergraduates being the first in their families to attend college, and about 9,000 Bruins with an average income of about $50,000 per year, UCLA is the premier public institution for opportunity advancement that are at the core to our public mission and crucial to the future of our democracy. I myself am a first-generation college student who had the good fortune of working while I was an undergrad. My parents very much supported me going to college. They didn't know anything about the process, but they wanted to help me achieve my dreams. And the person I was before I started college, the person I was after I graduated college, were two very different people. And I think college being that transformative experience is core to what I believe in and support, and I know you all share that value as well. And now I've had the good fortune throughout my career to be at this incredible institution, leading the operation that oversees more applications than any other college or university in the country, awards financial aid and scholarships to very deserving students each year. And that's something that I take pride in, not because of what I'm doing to contribute to that, but because of the team that we have and the students that we support that, just inspire us on a daily basis. I am convinced there is no better place than UCLA for these trailblazers and students to find a home, to cultivate their personal growth, and provide opportunities that will set them up for future successes. It's young scholars like Ekaterina and the students in this room that will shape our future, and your support now allows them to make the most of their extraordinary opportunities at UCLA. Perhaps now more than ever, it's important that all our students feel a sense of belonging here. That connection, that support, the idea that my university wants me to succeed and flourish during my time on campus and beyond. Scholarship support helps to create the space for that to happen. The stresses of a second job or increased loan debt may deter some students from taking advantage of that research opportunity or studying abroad. And we want better for our students. If we want to truly embrace this #1 public university hype, let's be sure the experience for all of our students is truly second to none. Your support not only impacts their UCLA experience, but also ensures a better future for their families, communities, and our society. So we thank you again for being here today. Very much appreciate all the support you have provided and will continue to provide into the future. And with that, I'd like to welcome Ekaterina back to the stage, who will continue sharing more of her UCLA journey. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Associate Vice Chancellor Clark. Receiving scholarship support at UCLA has truly been one of the most impactful experiences of my life, and without it, I truly would not be here today. I still remember receiving my scholarship offer at UCLA. It was a moment I will remember for the rest of my life. I will never forget my father and mother pouring, I kid you not, pickle juice, my favorite drink, thanks to my Slavic upbringing, into little crystal wine glasses, and us toasting to this beautiful possibility for the future. I truly felt with my scholarship offer as if someone had seen me, the potential of my instrument, my ideas, and was willingly to unwaveringly support it. That's UCLA. That day brought me one step closer to my dream, a dream I actually share with my great-grandfather. My great-grandfather was a very famous clarinetist in the Soviet Union, specifically in Lviv, Ukraine. 3 generations ago, he spent upwards of 10 years in the Gulag, saved only by my great-grandmother's kindness as a nurse in the facility. When he was freed, my great-grandparents stressed the importance of education and music in the lives of them and their children. Education, musical or academic, is something that can never be taken away from you, as all material things can. They instilled in my family a reverence for the arts, and my grandfather prayed that one of his children might pursue music as well. For generations, it seemed as if that dream would be unrealized. That is, until now, being his great-granddaughter. My artistic truths have always been simple, but with time, and especially here at UCLA, I've realized that simplicity really is the greatest sophistication, as Leonardo da Vinci said. I want to be authentic, I want to tell the truth, to sing with passion and love, and to develop my own artistic voice. At UCLA, I envision engaging with the Los Angeles musical community and performing with like-minded individuals. As a 21st century musician who is excited to create new legacies, I knew UCLA would help me fulfill my great-grandfather's legacy, surrendering to the music that reflects and uplifts the human experience. Coming into college, financial barriers would have entirely halted this dream and now this reality. I am forever grateful for my scholarship, which didn't just make attending UCLA easier, it made it possible. In the last 4 years, I have had the most incredible experiences, many of which I would have never dreamed of in high school. I have studied with Juliana Gondek, a distinguished professor of voice and opera, who has been a constant support and has helped me put on many projects. Now, for example, we are putting together Pierre Boulez's Pli Selon Pli, a work that, to be blunt, is never put on by undergraduates and very infrequently put on by universities. And UCLA made this possible. I have had the opportunity to perform with Gluck Vocal Ensemble for opera outreach in LA, opera workshops, chamber singers, Flux New Music Ensemble, among other musical groups on campus. I'm also involved in music and medicine, singing at Ronald Reagan Hospital. I was also gifted with my most life-changing mentor, our new head of opera, Professor James Dara. He is truly one of the most famous and respected artists in the world and has seen in me the makings of a stage director. He is training me through a series of independent studies and studio classes. And now, thanks to UCLA, I'm looking forward to my first professional opportunity as I will be directing a children's opera this summer with Long Beach Opera, which is, thank you. It just feels unreal, but these experiences have shaped my future and prepared me to share the joy of music with my community and beyond. Beyond my musical endeavors, I've embraced the diverse academic opportunities here at UCLA. As a double major in opera and English literature, I have explored Renaissance literature and conducted research projects that blend my artistic and scholarly interests. These experiences have not only enriched my education, but also helped me develop a well-rounded perspective. Transitioning to life in Los Angeles, a city of 3.8 million, from a rural area of 4,500 was challenging. But the support from the alumni scholars community and my mentors helped change my mind about the city I once felt so small in. Everyone I've encountered through the Bruin community has made UCLA, a bustling city in its own right, feel personal and like a place I belong. Ironically, now I view UCLA as a tightly knit, small town community of its own. Most schools do not support artists for 4 years, but at UCLA, I've been able to become a strong artist while receiving a well-rounded education. Once again, nothing I have experienced or accomplished in the last 4 years would have happened without the scholarship support I received. Scholarship support has also made it easier to consider graduate education since I'll have less debt upon graduation. I plan to pursue an MFA program in opera singing and opera stage direction, and eventually join an opera house as a resident. These opportunities over the last 4 years have enriched my life and broadened my horizons, making my time at UCLA truly unforgettable, as I am sure is true for many students, alumni, staff, and donors in this room. To all the donors, thank you for giving me and my fellow students the greatest gift, an education I could always carry with me, and a brighter future. Thank you. And now I'd like to welcome some special Bruins to the stage for a panel featuring our amazing students. Please join me in welcoming UCLA alum and former scholarship recipient Gustavo Tepetla. Gustavo earned his bachelor's degree in design and media arts with a minor in visual and performing arts in 2021. Today, we're proud to have him back at UCLA, where he serves as a principal producer in our residential halls for our student affairs team. Welcome, Gustavo and panel.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gustavo. As a proud UCLA alum and former panelist for this event 4 years ago, I am thrilled to be back here today with you all. As G. Katarina mentioned, I am a principal producer with UCLA Residential Life Learning Centers. In my current role, I develop workshops, trainings, concerts, and programming that integrate creative wellness principles. As a first-generation immigrant and first in my family to attend university, I navigated the complexities of higher education while balancing roles as a parent, commuting student, and disabled student. My experience exemplifies the transformative power of education and the arts. My dedication continues to inspire and empower students from all walks of life. We have so many remarkable students here at UCLA with a variety of life experiences, aspirations, and accomplishments. And today, it is my pleasure to speak with a few of them so you can hear a little bit about what they have been able to achieve and how your support has made this possible. Thank you. Hello, panel.
Hello.
Hi. Can you please introduce yourselves, share your name, where you are from, major, class, year, and why you chose UCLA? Ryan, let's start with you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Pham. I'm a third-year mechanical engineering student here, and I'm from Orange County, California, but I'm a Vietnamese American. I chose UCLA because it really struck a good balance. For me, I saw UCLA as a good balance of academics. It has a top engineering program, so I knew that it would be challenging in all of the right ways, but it also had a really active student culture, very vibrant, and I had the opportunity as a high school senior to visit here and under the Southeast Asian ADMIT program. So I found out how welcoming UCLA's community is. So, yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. Martina?
Hello, everyone. My name is Martina de los Rios, and I am a third-year business and economics major with a minor in data science. I'm from the Bay Area, California, and I'm also a first-generation American. I'm Argentinian American. And I chose UCLA primarily from the people I met. So my favorite teacher in high school went to UCLA, and I had so many family friends that went, and everyone was so enthusiastic to speak about the school, and I just wanted to be in a community where I could be able to speak about my university with that same eagerness. And I'd like to say that I have, and because of that, my brother, he's also going to be a future Bruin next year. So very excited to see him on campus as well.
Thank you, Martina. Thank you, Martina. Christian.
Thank you, Gustavo. Howdy, y'all. My name is Christian Gonzalez. I was born and raised here in Los Angeles. I'm a U.S. Army veteran where I served as a M1 Abrams tank crewman, and I did one tour in, thank you. And I did one tour in Iraq. I'm a senior majoring in sociology, so I'll be set to graduate this June 2025. And I chose UCLA because I remember middle school, we took a field trip and I just fell in love with this campus. It's a really strong, great school, #1 public university, 8 years in a row. Let's go. So when I set to transfer, this was option number 1, 2, and 3 for me. It just has a strong sense of community, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Christian. Corinne?
Hi, everyone. My name is Corinne Evans. I'm from San Diego, California, and I am a fourth-year neuroscience major and education minor. I've spoken about this to a couple people here now, but I knew I wanted to go to UCLA since 6th grade. I wanted to study humans. I thought brains were fascinating. And when you look up those kinds of things on Google, like, where can I study that? UCLA pops up quite a bit. So I knew that this would be the place for me. As I grew older and did a little more research and tried to figure out how can I combine my interest in autism research and education policy and neuroscience, UCLA came up over and over and over again. We have one of the best centers for autism research and treatment in the country. I wholeheartedly believe that. And it was really important to me to go to a school where I could engage in those interests and use the things I'm good at to help the autistic community. So that's why I chose UCLA.
Thank you, Corinne. Next question. How have you found community at UCLA? How has this community enabled you to feel a sense of belonging? Corinne, we'll start with you.
Sure. The first social group I had here actually came through my scholarship. I'm a Big Bang Theory scholarship recipient, and each year a handful of us meet each other and we become a cohort and we do activities together, professional development, workshops, really fun things. And when I first met my cohort, I was thinking this is going to just be a scholarship thing, like I'm just going to talk with them every so often, but they're actually some of my closest friends. They were my first and my closest friends. Another social group I am blessed to be a part of is the women's rugby team. I don't play anymore. I got concussed too many times, and I am a neuroscience major, so that was hard. But that team became a really big sense of identity for me, and they are wonderful people to know, them and the Big Bang Theory cohort. I have found that these social groups have helped me through really tough times here. There were times when I was navigating injury, invisible disability, and grief. And during those times, I didn't always feel like I knew what my step forward would look like. But knowing these friends and being able to lean on them for support reminded me that my place is here at UCLA as a Bruin. I think those are the main ways I found community here.
Thank you so much, Corinne. Christian.
Thank you, Gustavo. Yeah, it's one of those things I kind of worried about coming here. You know, I'm a non-traditional student. I'll be 35 next month, first-gen student. So it was something I was thinking about, like, how am I going to relate to, you know, these 18, 20-year-olds. You know, I started as a math econ student, and, you know, it was great actually getting to talk to everyone. Like, we're just people at the end of the day, no matter where you're from, and we actually connected very well. Whether it's trauma bonding or genuine relationships, you know, to each their own. But I also did find the Veterans Resource Center as like my main hub. That's where I'm able to, you know, talk to other people with shared experience and really connect with them. And we even, through my circle of friends, we created this little social thing called Luskin Monday. So every Monday we come here to Luskin, to Placia. We just hang out and, you know, just start the week off right. Yeah.
Thank you, Christian. Ryan?
Yeah, so UCLA is such a huge school. It has so many communities. But I've really found my people in two main communities, one being cultural and another in my engineering clubs. So I found my home, one in my Southeast Asian community here in UCLA. I mentioned before that I had the opportunity to visit UCLA from a Southeast Asian AdMid program. But as a freshman and as a sophomore, I was able to take on the other side of the role, where I was a tour facilitator and a family head. So I got to invite incoming students and show them what UCLA is all about, all of the opportunities that we have to offer socially, academically, professionally. And it really was a rewarding experience to give back to the community that really invited me here as a freshman, as an incoming freshman. And the other one is engineering. So engineering clubs, I've been involved in the American Society of Mechanical Engineers for the past 3 years, and I found that I've really had the opportunity to grow technically as an engineer, but also as a leader. So who here has heard of the show BattleBots? BattleBots? Yeah. So like that's like a we have the similar project here in ASME. We design, build, and compete a couple of compact robots, and I've had the opportunity to work on it as a general member and then move up the ranks up into the lead engineer. And I found that it's really been like a home away from home, being able to work with all of these engineers and collaborate.
Thank you, Ryan. Martina?
Yeah, so for me, UCLA is such a vast school and there's so many resources, but it really is up to you to seek them out. And so I didn't know what I was doing going into UCLA, so I joined as many clubs as I could. And a few that really stood out to me is one, the Bruin Group Consulting. And again, I went initially solely for career development purposes, but now I really just go for the people. I go through the resumes to coursework and like the workshops and everything just to talk with everyone else in the club. And another one is also Bruin Women in Business, and that's another club that I've been heavily involved in. I work with a lot of like high schoolers as well within the club and help empower them to develop in business careers. And then finally, I also studied abroad this past fall semester. I went to Sciences Po in Paris. And I didn't speak the language. I've never been to Paris before. And so my first friends were through UCLA, and we got through it together. We navigated Paris together. I found my roommate group with them, and now I have friends that I think will last a lifetime.
Thank you, Martina. Next question. What difference have scholarships or student support programs made in your UCLA journey? Martina, we can start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned Bruin Women in Business, and I am the events director for that club. And one of the main things that I do is I help coordinate the Aspiring Businesswoman Summit. And so this helps empower underrepresented girls in the LA region, and we expose them to various business careers. So we have leaders in the industry, and we connect them with that. And so that has always been very empowering to me. And then the other thing I'm involved in is I am the ambassador and tutor for One Prosper International. And it is a program that promotes language education to girls in the Thar Desert of India. And so these girls, they spend 7 hours a day collecting water for their families, and so they're completely unable to go to school. And I've been able to meet some incredible women this way through one-on-one tutoring sessions that I still stay in touch with even if I'm not tutoring anymore. And I've also attended conferences for it. I've met such incredible people that way, and I'm so grateful for that exposure.
Thank you so much, Martina. Ryan?
Yeah, so to start off, I'm a mechanical engineering student, and mechanical engineering is super broad. Like, there's so many different fields that we could go into, like aerospace, manufacturing, energy, to list a few. And I feel like scholarships at UCLA has really given me flexibility to explore what I want to do as an engineer. So it's given me the flexibility to do unpaid research at the Smart Grid Energy Research Center, kind of a mouthful, but I was able to really do the research that I'm passionate about, and I found out that I was really interested in doing clean energy, grid modernization, renewable energies, and it really allowed me to narrow down my career goals in my field. And without my scholarship support, I feel like I would have had to give up these kind of opportunities to work more part-time jobs. I do work a part-time job, but it's more of a flexible schedule, and I'm doing it just more for career development rather than to pay off any interest or loans. So it's allowed me to really narrow down my career.
Thank you, Ryan. Christian?
Thank you, Gustavo. Yeah, in terms of scholarships, so I am a disabled veteran, so I do benefit from military benefits. So that's one less headache I have to worry about. But you know, I have a friend who's like, she's one of the hardest working people I've known. She's so passionate, and she's supposed to be happy about graduation, and she's so stressed out about grad school because military benefits sometimes only get you so far. So it is something that's kind of heartbreaking and grounding to see. So it's one of those things that she can look out for. In terms of school programs, yeah, you're going to hear me talk about it a lot, but the Veterans Resource Center, it's one of the great places I love on campus, biased opinion. It's the first place I visited at the beginning of the day. It's the last place I go to at the end of the day, and it's just great to, connect with people there. We have a lot of great programs too, depending on what your major is. So we have like Vets in STEM, which is like a great program for, when I was doing math. And, we also have tutoring there at the VRC. So like math tutor helped me out so much when I was doing math because, the math center, they only get you so far in lower division math. When you get to that upper division, ooh, forget about it.
Thank you so much, Christian. Corinne?
Yeah, I would like to echo Ryan. I think scholarships have made it really easy for me to be more flexible with my time here. I'm incredibly blessed and grateful to say that if I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to work a single day during undergrad. But I do like working. So I tried to get a job, and I did end up becoming one of the first accessibility support assistants here at UCLA Center for Accessible Education. And I really enjoyed the flexibility that the scholarships provide me in working that job. I work 10 hours remotely, which is a very easy gig compared to some of my other friends who are also undergrads here. It's really important for me to work at that job, though, because it informs what I want to do in my research. I want to make education accessible. So being able to work at the CAE and not have to worry about paying rent or paying for groceries or other bills has been a huge weight off my chest. Though I will say, as I've been reflecting, getting ready for graduation, scholarships haven't just helped me financially. I mentioned earlier the Big Bang Theory cohort was one of my first social groups here, and I truly believe that they have helped me stay on my path this entire 4 years, and I cannot be more grateful for the social support that scholarships can give you.
Thank you so much. Next question. One of our true Bruin values is service at UCLA. Can you talk about how you give back? Christian, let's start with you.
Oh, yeah, sure. So I'm currently working at the Veterans Resource Center part-time. So I am able to, be that face that a lot of student veterans or dependents that come through, any questions they have about benefits or any situation that have going on, we're able to help them out and direct them, navigate that. I'm also the vice president of the Student Veterans of America at UCLA. It's a nationwide organization. It's connected with a large network of student veterans. So it's one of those things that, we're in this circle, we're able to talk to each other, help each other out in terms of not just school, but with, career advice. One of the things we do is we'll do beach cleanups, and then one of the things we're most proud of is we partner with an equestrian center. So we're able to do kind of like rehabilitation, some therapy, just for mental wellness for veterans.
Thank you. Martina.
Yeah, so I've mentioned my two main ones there. So again, Bruin Women in Business, and then One Prosper International, which I'm so internally grateful to be involved in. I guess I forgot to mention, I completely missed the scholarship values, but I do want to echo that I actually, once I got my acceptance to UCLA, I was really excited to go, and so were my parents, but there was also this financial burden that we were all unspokenly aware of, and my mom actually was post-pandemic, and she recently lost her job, and so I knew there was a lot of financial stress that way, and so I really took initiative to try to help in any way I could, whether it be through scholarships or to get a job. I'm so grateful again for the Go family and their everlasting support that way, because I was able to go into my freshman year fully focusing on what I should as a student, going into a new school, meeting as many people as possible, and being exposed to as many things as possible, and finding my people. And so I truly think I found that. I apologize, I think I switched my answers there. But yeah, I really, really want to echo my gratitude to the Go family.
Thank you. All right, next question. What experience have you had that is unique to UCLA? Corinne, we'll begin with you.
Yeah. This is another thing I was talking about because I love my major, but the neuroscience major here at UCLA is so, so unique. For those who aren't aware, it's an interdepartmental program. What that means is you're encouraged to not just take neuroscience upper division courses, but things in other departments as well. I've done the math on my degree audit. I actually don't think you can graduate as a neuroscience major and only take neuroscience classes. You have to take things in phi-sci, cognitive science, psychology. You can even petition for classes outside of those to be considered for the major if you want. So I think that's really unique about UCLA. And it informs the sort of research I want to do. When I become a researcher, it's not just going to be a neuroscience lab. We're going to have clinical psychologists, we're going to have educators, we're going to have policymakers. That is something that I learned from here throughout our interdepartmental program, is the value of mixing disciplines to learn how to more innovatively ask questions. As part of the neuroscience major, you are expected to do research, and I've found that research here is also very unique. If you're just looking at neuroscience research, you can go down to a single protein level, all the way up to the whole brain and body. And being able to ask questions at different levels of inquiry allows you to answer really important problems that we have in neuroscience research. And I think that's truly unique and something that I've definitely taken advantage of during my time here. Finally, I think my community at work has been very unique to UCLA. I mentioned earlier I was one of the first undergrads to work at the CAE. And when I first started working, I was thinking, oh, I'm just going to have bosses because I'm just the undergrad. I don't really know what goes on here. But it's actually a very collaborative workspace. I keep up with the Disabled Student Union and the sort of bills that they're passing for our student body. I keep up with education and disability policy. And I use those to inform the work I do and to have conversation with my bosses and with my superiors and with collaborators about what we can do to make the disabled student experience at UCLA even better. I think those are very unique about UCLA, and I'm grateful to have experienced it.
Thank you, Corinne. Ryan.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So the experience that I'd like to share that I feel like is unique to UCLA is the Bruin Network opening doors for me professionally. I learned a lot about different opportunities, and I actually got connected to my summer internship last summer through the Bruin Network. So it all started with the Engineering and Technology Career Fair that was hosted by the UCLA Career Center. So big shout out to them. I learned about all the opportunities that the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, LADWP, had to offer for engineers like me, and I got connected to them. I applied through their website, and when I got an invite for an interview, I actually was pretty worried. So I was like trying to figure out how to best prepare for it. So I actually reached out to some LADWP employees who were UCLA alumni on LinkedIn, and I sent out a couple of messages, and I asked them how they were doing, what kind of work they did, and I actually got a lot of helpful feedback from them on LinkedIn. I set up some coffee chats, and I found that the UCLA network really helped me a lot. And even at my job, I met a couple of LADW employees that were UCLA alumni, and they offered to be basically in a mentorship position for me. So I found that overall, the Bruin community was very strong and supportive, and it really helped me grow professionally.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Okay, next question. How has your UCLA experience influenced your future goals? Tell us what's next for you. What do you hope to do after all of this? Christian, we'll begin with you.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God, UCLA has been so impactful in my life. So just quick history about me was I left the Army in 2011. My job was tanks, and last time I checked, there's no tanks going down the 405. So, what am I going to do with my life? So I spent the better part of a decade trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I went from working at a warehouse to construction, electrician. I did the police academy. I did private security training. Culinary, none of it worked for me. Finally, I was able to, come back to school, do higher education, and, working with the VRC, I was able to really find what I love to do, and that's helping other people, especially those that are in the same position I am. I'm able to see some of these younger veterans coming through the door. They're also lost on what to do. They don't know what's going on with their life, and I'm able to kind of talk to them and counsel them a little bit, and it's ignited such a fire in my life, and I'm so passionate about it. So that's kind of what's next for me is I want to go on to master's school, master's in social welfare or counseling, and I want to become it's called a Veteran Success on Campus counselor. So they're counselors that help you not just with your benefits but with your education, and that's what's next for me. Hopefully, yeah.
Thank you, Christian. Corinne.
Yeah, UCLA has completely changed what I thought the path to a accomplishing my goals looks like. I mentioned earlier, I'm really interested in education policy and autism. I want to use my neuroscience expertise to make the classroom more accessible for autistic students. Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder, therefore you would study it with neuroscience methodology, but when we think about how to apply it to the classroom, that was something I learned through UCLA and through our interdepartmental program. And I thought, you know, I am gonna come into college as a neuroscience major, I'm gonna graduate and then immediately go to grad school, and then immediately I'm gonna become a PI. I didn't even know postdocs existed, to be honest with you. When I came here and started talking to mentors, though, I learned that the path is actually quite wide. There's not just one way to accomplish things. And that has been a burden lifted completely off my chest. I don't feel like I have to fit into any one path now. I have considered not just neuroscience programs, but also joint programs in clinical psychology, also cognitive science and related disciplines. Looking forward, after graduation, I will be working for 2 years. I have an interview with the lab, hopefully it goes well, and I'm very excited to use my neuroscience expertise and interest in language to study language and eventually apply that to research in autism. After working for 2 years, will be applying to grad school. UCLA is my top choice, of course. And I really look forward to getting my PhD in neuroscience, maybe a master's in education at some point, and becoming a career researcher and eventually professor. So I really hope soon that in the future you will see me making waves in the education policy space using neuroscience to do so in order to help autistic kiddos in the classroom.
Thank you, Corinne. Martina.
Yeah, so I feel like if you go into UCLA as a business economics major, you probably have no idea what you're doing. And that was me, at least. I had no idea what career paths were open to me, and I knew economics was very versatile. And so I, again, as I've mentioned, joined many business clubs, and I initially thought I was gonna go into consulting, so I was in the Bruin Group Consulting, and they actually exposed me to many fields in finance. And so this summer I'm gonna be going into banking, thanks to their help in the recruitment process with mock interviews and everything. And hopefully that transfers into a full-time role. But beyond just that, I actually have a passion project that I've been working on with other UCLA students and students in Singapore, actually. And it's a startup, and we're specifically working with traffic lights, and we're trying to use AI to optimize traffic timing, signal timing, in real time to reduce congestion and as a result reduce CO2 by millions of tons. And so that's something I've been so passionate about. We're working with Los Angeles Department of Transportation currently, and it's something that I really hope to do long term.
Thank you so much. Ryan.
Wait, is this the? Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. I lost track of time. I was like paying attention to everyone. I was like, wait, this is like so interesting.
Okay, totally fine.
Yeah. So I came into UCLA as an undeclared engineer, so I had no idea what I was doing in engineering. But UCLA really impacted my mission and my whole, like everything about my career, because I've taken the opportunity to really pursue research in smart grid energy. I've been able to secure an internship in the energy sector through the Bruin Network, and I feel like that's really narrowed down my focus in sustainability. In my plans for the future are to pursue graduate education. I want to hopefully come back as a double burn and pursue my master's degree in mechanical engineering, and I want to have an emphasis on energy systems. And I also, after that, I want to work in the energy industry, hopefully in a national laboratory, and focus in renewable energy and just help fight climate change.
Thank you, Ryan. Just want to give a special thank you to each one of you. Thank you all for sharing your stories today. You are all inspiring, and you truly encapsulate what it means to be a true Bruin. Hearing from you today reminds me that every Bruin has a unique story, but we all have one thing in common, right? Which is a desire to make the world a better place. And thank you all here today for being a part of this. Special community for your generously supporting our students. Thank you for making the world a better place by supporting these incredible students on this stage and in this room today. And thank you all for laying the foundation for a better future for all of those to follow. With that, I'd like to welcome Yekaterina back to the stage. Thank you all. You want to stand up? Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Thank you to my fellow Bruins for sharing your stories. I would now like to welcome a true Bruin optimist and a leader by example, Dr. Eric Israelian, to join us. Dr. Israelian is the chief of the Vachi and Tamar Manukian Division of Digestive Diseases at the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA, where he is a health sciences clinical professor of medicine. Dr. Israelian is closely involved in growth strategy and strategic planning efforts for the UCLA health system. He received a Bachelor's of Science from the University of California at Berkeley, graduated from the Loma Linda University School of Medicine, and completed his residency in internal medicine at the University of Southern California. He is also a Bruin. Dr. Israelian completed his gastroenterology fellowship at UCLA, where he also obtained a Master of Public Health degree at the UCLA Fielding School of Public Health. He is actively involved in the leadership of several philanthropic organizations within UCLA, including the board of directors of the Hammer Museum and the executive board of the UCLA School of Theater, Film, and Television. He is also co-chair of the UCLA Second Century Council. He was profiled in the book 100 Making a Difference, with other influencers and philanthropists making a difference in the world. In 2017, the university designated Dr. Israelian as a UCLA optimist, among its notable alumni and faculty dedicated to solving the world's problems. He is also one of the co-founders of the recently announced California Institute for Immunology and Immunotherapy at the UCLA Research Park. In 2021, he was also honored by Pope Francis at the Vatican with the Benemerenti Medal for his humanitarian activities around the world. This year, he will receive the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Israelian.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor for me to be here with all of you. I'm so inspired. I loved hearing the student stories. I mean, these are really remarkable students, and they're going to be incredible ambassadors for UCLA for many years to come. And I just wanted to thank all of you for attending today and for your support of these students, the students who aren't here with us today, and for everything you all do for UCLA. As you heard, I'm kind of like a glorified cheerleader for UCLA. I did attend another UC. We don't talk about that very much, but I have had the honor of being at UCLA now for, a big part of my life, and it's been the most important part of my life because I really cherish the moments we all have here together on this campus. You heard from the students, it's bittersweet because they're graduating. I'm just going to take this thing off. They're graduating, but hopefully some of them will come back as double Bruins. And there's really something special about this university. Yes, of course, it's the top public university, but also the community here is truly special, inspirational, enthusiastic about helping one another, and you exemplify all of that by your support of the scholarships. As you heard, I've had the honor of playing a lot of different roles at UCLA. I've been a trainee, a student, a faculty member, and a big chunk of my life now has been involved in being a donor and inspiring and trying to inspire. Ria's there, she's my boss in this, trying to inspire other people to contribute to the great mission of UCLA. And the groups that I've had the honor of being a part of are truly inspirational, just like the students here. They're committed to UCLA, they love UCLA, they love the fact that the University of California creates opportunities and is really an economic engine. My family really came to this country looking for a better life and better opportunities, and I've been the beneficiary of the UC system creating those opportunities for me. And when I talk to students, even just today, but some of the students that I've been involved with scholarships, supporting them with scholarships, they're so grateful, and I feel like I get as much out of those scholarships as they do, because I feel grateful for the opportunity that I've had to be able to contribute to their education. And you know, nobody can really measure that in kind of statistical terms. Maybe some of these brilliant students can do that in terms of what the impact of the UCLA education is going to be. But I do know that it can change a student's life, and it can change the trajectory of a family. And as a parent of a couple of teenagers myself, I've been a secret shopper when I go on college tours. We know UCLA is the best, of course. But I do like listening to what other schools are saying when they're kind of pitching the schools. And the top universities in the country do talk a lot about financial aid. And many of them are able to offer very generous financial aid packages, including 100% of tuition and room and board for families who need that help. So we want students to choose UCLA and not to choose another institution because of a financial decision. And that's where everybody here comes in. And you've already demonstrated it, so first of all, I just want to say thank you. It means a lot that you have given up so much of your time, talent, and treasure to support these students. And I hope to join you all and do the same, and if not more, in the years to come, because you know, higher education is under feeling the strain of a lot of different pressures right now. But at the same time, by the same token, I would say that higher education facilitates some of the greatest innovations that our planet has ever seen, particularly in the realms of science, technology, arts and culture, and supporting students is the first way that we can try to facilitate that innovation in years to come. And so I'm very optimistic, as you heard. We were just talking about at the table about all these challenges facing higher education, but I also think that the cream rises to the top, and UCLA is definitely at the top. So we have a lot of things to be excited about and to be positive about, and I do think we can make UCLA a destination for that innovation. And you heard about the California Institute for Immunology and Immunotherapy. The UCLA Research Park is an incredible new venture for the university, and something like that has never really existed in greater Los Angeles. So it's not only going to be Boston and other cities in the country that are going to be the engines and invention factories. I think UCLA can do that, and will be a part of the Los Angeles community doing that. So again, I just want to thank all of you for spending the late morning and early afternoon here, and most importantly for your support of the students. And to the students, I just want to say how inspirational your stories have been. I was just telling Rhea, I can't even believe that some of these are college students, you know, in terms of, I think you could be a dean of a school of music or something like that someday. If you told me you were the dean, I would have believed it. So I happen to know her, so maybe I know that, but I really feel hopeful about the future because of the stories that I heard today. And I know you'll all be very successful. And again, thank you to all the people who made this possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Azarelian. As we have heard today, scholarship and student support programs mean everything to students like me. They are what make our dreams possible. Simply put, the last 4 years of my life, once again, just wouldn't have happened. As we conclude today's event, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to every single person in this room. Your support is not just an investment in education, but also an investment in our collective future and what each of us dreams for that future to be. The stories we heard today are a testament to the power of generosity. Together, this community is creating opportunities, fostering innovation, and building a better tomorrow. The support I received ensured my ability to follow my passion for opera and literature in an environment that offers unparalleled opportunities. Your support has given me the incredible gift of being able to focus solely on my studies and my artistic growth, and for that I am eternally grateful. Thank you for being a part of my journey and the journey of countless others. Your contributions have a lasting impact, not just on individual students, but on the entire UCLA community. Together, we are shaping the future, one scholarship at a time. Thank you for supporting our brilliant students today and ushering in a better tomorrow. Thank you. This concludes our program. Please feel free to stay, enjoy your conversations, take pictures. We have a lovely photographer who can take your photos as well. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Please get home safely, and thank you so much.